happens so fast, and there's no way for you to think about it.
New tonight at 11, the victim of a violent carjacking shares her terrifying story. The victim tells us that she fought back as two teens grabbed her and threw her from her SUV. This happened Monday on the 1900 block of Biltmore Street in Adams Morgan. Tonight, we learned that her car was used in a police chase that ended when the SUV crashed into a ravine in Landover Hills. Tom Rousey joins us now live from Adams Morgan. He spoke with the victim and has her story of survival tonight. Tom?
And Leon, this was just a terrifying ordeal this victim went through. This carjacking happened only about a block off busy Calvert Street here in Adams Morgan. She says she had just met with a client. She was sitting in the driver's seat of her car when all of a sudden someone opened the door. Well, she didn't even look up at first. She thought it was the person she had just recently been talking to, but it wasn't. It was a carjacker.
He just grabbed my arm and he said, "Get out of the car."
The victim, a North Potomac woman who asked us not to identify her, says the carjacking happened on Biltmore Street, where she just met with a client.
I've been to that address before several times and has always been a pretty safe place.
But yesterday, first one and then two guys tried to drag her out of her car. As the bruises on her body show, she didn't let them get away without a fight.
I remember pushing them with my elbow, and I kicked them hard. They both came around on my side, and they pulled on my legs and just threw me out of the car.
She didn't see her BMW again until today on the news.
And I was shaking.
Witnesses watched as police say two 15-year-old suspects led them on a chase from the BW Parkway to where it ended here in this ditch in Landover Hills. A park police officer broke his ankle after chasing one of the suspects. He had to be taken away on a stretcher. One suspect was caught right away. The other, seen here in a squad car, was tracked to this nearby Taco Bell. Tonight, it's unclear if these are the same young men who allegedly did the carjacking. This was one of a series of recent carjackings, and it's not the only one that resulted in a police chase and crash.
I'm glad I got out of this whole thing healthy, and I'm here because it could have been a lot worse.
Now, the victim tells me this has really taught her to never assume that any neighborhood is safe. Also, she says from now on, when she gets in a car, the very first thing she's going to do, lock the doors. She's not going to let something like this happen to her again. And she says that's good advice for everybody, especially with a recent spate of carjackings going on here in the D.C. area. Live tonight in Adams Morgan in Northwest, I'm Tom Rousey, ABC 7 News.